Okay, so what I want to start out with is just running into a base 3 down, okay? So again, assuming this is the right is the field, our right side on offense. A lot of the 3 down teams are a step from the boundary, so they're really getting to a 4 down under 3 technique to the boundary type of defense. But what we will do is if the guard is uncovered, okay, or the guard has an A-gap defender, okay, any A-gap defender, we're going to block down with the play side guard. So he'll make the call, okay, the first call. And that first call is what we call, and I'll get into this, but cargo, okay? So the guard is down and the center is around, okay? You can see with that blue line. The tackle will base the 5 technique. Now, we may, depending on down and distance, on situation, how tight the defender is, we can pass at that kid to widen him, or we can base drive him, just get off the ball and come after him, okay? For the backside tackle, probably not the best way to draw it with that red line, but he's skip pulling, okay? So both the center and the tackle will skip pull in this picture so that they are trying to stay square, pulling for second level defenders. And my general rule is this: if you're pulling you will flat pull, meaning like a trap pull straight down the line, open your hip, step towards the target, flat down the line when you're kicking out a first line defender. When you're pulling for a second or third level defender, then we'll utilize the skip pull. So we do use both pull techniques. But basically what we're doing is we're going to block back on that end who becomes the 3 technique. The tight end, when you're a direct handoff, okay, he's got to be responsible for a C gap, kind of most dangerous on the backside. So he'll step down kind of like a backside tackle on a hinge, just to help on that end in case he wants to jet up the field, to help that guard on that end. But he'll take most dangerous on the backside. Okay, so again, it's counter tray when we run it against certain looks, but particularly a 3. But right now, when we're against an odd front or an A-gap defender to the call, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to pull the center and the center and the backside tackle. Okay, just quickly, a couple things to notice. Okay, so we got our back he's flat. What our back is coached to do is he's going to take 3 steps. So it's 1, 2, 3 to get right in front of the quarterback. Okay, he wants to kind of split the quarterback's feet. Quarterback's going to open up and make it look like he's in a read position, kind of at a 45, not to close the back off, okay, but he wants to be able to hand the ball off and or read it, depending on what we're doing. So it might alter a little bit based on what action we are running in the backfield, but this is the base way we do it. For the wideouts, okay, we're telling them it's inside run, okay? The base aiming point of this play is to we tell the back to aim A gap to start, bounce if he has to, and it bounces quite often, okay? I'm going to go to the end zone, but just so you get an idea of what's happening out there. All right, so again, as we drew up, what we got is we've got our play side guard is going to block down, okay, on the A-gap defender. Our center will skip pull for the play side backer. We're going to try to widen the play side defensive end, okay? We're out on the backside D end, and we're going to pull for the backside backer. And the tight end is in an MDM situation, okay? So again, it looks like everything's going to the right, obviously. You got your pullers, and now we come back, okay? Second puller, the backside backer gets caught up with the action. He gets to him eventually, but you can see where this ball ends up hitting. We're hitting it downhill. We're starting in A gap, and sometimes that thing opens way up, right up in there, okay? But in this scenario, obviously it bounced and it got outside, so that was a good thing as well. But what we're trying to do, men, is take advantage of the angles rather than, too often times, right, let me go get out of the drawing here, okay? Too many times now, if when our left tackle comes down and goes inside, then we really get squeezed. Now that thing has to bounce. We want to let it bounce based on what happens with the second level guys, not just dictated by a wrong arm by the defensive end. So that's kind of how this thing developed a little bit into doing it this way. Okay. So again, now what I really like about this is, again, the flexibility of how we can do this. So we were in 3-by-1 with a backside tight end. Okay, in this one, we got our backside tight end, but now we're in 2 backs, which is a good part of our offense. We just went through going through some cut-ups, and a majority of what we're running is 2 back stuff, so that we have the ability with our option game to be able to go either direction. But in this scenario, what we're doing is, showing full flow to the boundary, which will run some outside/middle zone, and it kind of looks like that, okay? But again, you're running it versus the 3 down. Now, just as a note, you're looking at the play side tackle, the right tackle. I don't generally like running this, obviously, to a 4-eye, because that puts him in a little bit of a bind. If we know they're a heavy step from the boundary, like I said, that they're going to move and actually step to 4 down, then we do like it, because we think, obviously he can widen that. The right tackle can widen that guy out. But in general, we avoid it to a 4-eye. We'll run it into the open side. We'll run it to a tight end, and I'll get into how we do that. But again, there's the down block by the right guard, a skip pull by the center for the play side backer. Okay, play side tackle does a nice job of occupying the guy. Our backside tackle gets around, and this is why it's important for the back. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, pause, accept the handoff, and then drive vertical up the field.